Hey there, I'm Chris Groves from WKU's Department of Earth, Environmental, and Atmospheric Sciences, and I'm very pleased to welcome all of you to the 2021 Western Kentucky University Student Research Conference. My second ever public research presentation was in an earlier version of the same meeting as a young WKU geology student in 1983. I remember being really nervous about it, but it turned out there wasn't really any reason to be. Everyone was friendly, and over many talks at conferences I've given all over the world in the years since, this has just about always been the case. So 38 years later, I'm still at WKU, where my official job title is now University Distinguished Professor of Hydrogeology, and where I'm very pleased to have been asked to give a short message about the research that I do now. These days, I direct an outfit called the Crawford Hydrology Laboratory, where we do a wide variety of environmental projects, largely focused on underground water quality and flow. The lab is named after Nick Crawford, a global pioneer in the study of groundwater flow in limestone cave regions, who started the internationally known Cave Research Project at WKU. Nick was my mentor when I came here to study. The lab is part of the WKU Applied Research and Technology program. Our research lab has two full-time staff, our assistant director, Leanne Bledsoe, and research hydrologist, Autumn Singer, shown here in the lab, and we work with undergraduate and graduate students. We have had postdoctoral research students work in our lab from England, Spain, China, Vietnam, and other places. And right now, we're working on a project up at Mammoth Cave National Park with students from the Science National Honor Society at Bowling Green High School. We even work with students from the Bowling Green Junior High. So research is certainly student focused. So what kind of research does our team do? Most of our projects are focused on water, and we have a special emphasis on karst landscapes. That's karst as in K-A-R-S-T, which are landscapes formed on especially soluble bedrock like limestone, in which features such as caves, sinkholes, underground rivers, and big springs are common. I've been fascinated by caves and exploring them since I was a kid. And it was a dream for me to come here to WKU to be in the middle of one of the great karst landscapes of the world, and especially to be close to Mammoth Cave National Park. I still love Mammoth Cave. My students and colleagues and I currently have all kinds of projects in and around the cave and park. We're working on studying groundwater flow in and around Great Onyx Cave in a remote part of the park. And with my geologist colleague, Andrew Wolf, we are finding unusual new minerals that have never been identified in the cave or really elsewhere in the park. Just this month, we are beginning a year-long study on the quality of groundwater in the park, potentially impacted by bacteria. And we'll be employing laboratory methods using DNA to determine whether bacteria in water in different parts of the park has come from wildlife, cattle, horses, or human sources. We also do environmental research in other national parks and public lands across the US, and a number of my former students now work for the National Park Service, U.S. Forest Service, the U.S. Geological Survey, and other state and federal agencies that work to protect precious land and water resources. More broadly, our connections to Mammoth Cave tie to another key aspect of our activities, and that is that we have a very international research program. You can see here that Mammoth Cave National Park has been designated by the United Nations as both a World Heritage Site and an International Biosphere Reserve. These are two programs that designate places as being globally significant, and my colleagues and I and students are actively involved in several United Nations scientific programs through which we do research and regularly communicate with scientists from throughout the world. I have an especially long history in collaborative research in China, studying hydrogeology, geochemistry, and water resources in Southwest China, which arguably has the world's greatest karst area. This work has played out over 39 trips to China since 1995, many with students and colleagues, and 3 more trips were canceled in the past year due to the pandemic. Our team had to cancel or actually postpone 2 other international projects, one in the Philippines and a trip to Serbia in Eastern Europe for the same reason. Whatever successes I've had in research and scholarship have been made possible simply because I love what I do. I love the outdoors, I love to explore caves, I like to do work that can improve the quality of people's lives. Maybe most of all, I love working with students. The secret of all this is to do what you love. And if you do that, it doesn't seem that much like work. Those of you who are motivated enough to be participating in this year's Student Research Conference are in a great position to make this happen in your careers. And as I've told generations of students who have come before you, don't go and invest the time, effort, work, and expense to go through 4 or more years of college and end up with a job you hate, because you can go find a job you hate right now. So enjoy the conference and best of luck with your presentations. Thank you.